Actually, hey, hola, Lucio, ¿qué pasa, hombre? Buenas tardes. Been in the same family for over 300 years. It started off as a slave plantation. The main product was rice. They grew some cotton and some indigo, some silkworm, but for the most part of the property was rice. Pretty self-sufficient here on Plantation. The ninth generation owner is Drayton Hasty. Now, Mr. Hasty does love animals. If you see him, he does love animals. And sometimes you'll see quite a few dogs on the leash. Well, these are probably the owner's dogs or the workers' dogs out here, because we do love animals. And they know where they should go on property, where they shouldn't go. But if you're out here as a visitor, you're welcome to bring your pet. You can bring your pet with you. We ask you to keep them on a leash because we have 75 to 100 alligators on Plantation at any given time. And they seem to be one of their favorite things that they like is the canine, 4 legs and fur. They love anything with 4 legs and fur, so always make sure your dog never gets loose and gets out into the pond. By the year 1839, if you'd sit down at the supper table and Mama get you a big old helping of rice on your platter, there was a 50-50 chance that rice came from South Carolina. They grew 1/2 of the rice up until the time of the Civil War after 1839. At the end of the war, the plantations like this one and many others in South Carolina were visited by General William Tecumseh Sherman's armies, and, well, they couldn't grow rice for a good while after that, so eastern Texas, Louisiana took over the rice business. To the left, these are bigger magnolia trees, those green waxy leaves. We're headed to Ravenswood right now. Up ahead to the right, it looks like an American egret. Large white bird over there with the kind of orangish color beak. Hard to tell, it's kind of off color. It's maybe an immature bird right now. To the left, we've got what we call Ravenswood. In this area right here, well, the alligators in the morning hours have been circling the islands and looking for a duck dinner. Now, over here at the left, we call these islands, there's a couple of gators. We'll stop here real quick. Now let's move up a little bit. There's more gators. There's gators back to the left. There's gators near the island, near the shade. There's gators in the middle. There's the head of the one over here. Got a few around here. We'll stop right here real quick. Gator here close to shore.
Watch those eyes.
Oh, I see gator's eyes.
Right here.
These eyes down there.
There's a gator over there, and the bigger gator over there in the corner of the island. There's a gator over that way. Quite a few alligators out here.
Look, it's showing my water. We're just his head sticking up. I got two.
Now, when you see an alligator in the water, sometimes you're not seeing much of the alligator. And the reason being is that because
the gators in there. Where the water doesn't even move.
golly, we're going to go out here on a hot summer day. We're going to see a lot of alligators, but you got to remember.
Red stuff on top is not paprika. That's called red fern or azolla. We'll keep our eyes on Crook across the pond this morning. We were seeing a great blue heron. I don't know if he moved or not, but late in the afternoon, it's about 5 o'clock or so, we'll get some big gators back on these boards. Right now on the alligator boards, these are ramps we made for alligators. The alligators will come up here. Right now, it looks like we got a snake bird up there. That's not a U.S. mailbox to the left. We can't get the mailman to deliver out here. But over to the left is a little alligator slide where you can see the alligators come back and forth across these trails getting into different ponds. To the right was an old abandoned rice field. Well, alligators, that's a pretty big word, and you probably say that is an easy word to say, but that was a big word. I wonder where it came from. Well, we got some wood ducks here close to shore. That means the alligators aren't on this street right along here. They may be further along. They like to get out of the sun, get a little bit of breeze, and they lay in here like logs for hours waiting for something to pass by. Alligator came from the Spanish explorers. You see, when they saw the alligator, they called them el gato. That was Spanish for the lizard, and the lizard indeed he was, when the record-length alligator reached a record length of 19 feet, 2 inches long, bigger than your family car. In Louisiana. Oh, someone over here to the left. I don't know if it's a gator or not. We'll try to call it up if it is. Don't see anything coming up.
It's amazing you can call.
duckweed's pretty filled up right here, and all of a sudden you see an opening. It's also moving in the water. Sometimes alligators will come up, but sometimes they'll just go down and lay down there. They're much more comfortable about that.
In your house or in a weight room, you got a 5 or 10 pound dumbbell or barbell, you're hanging out, holding it out parallel to the ground for a couple hundred years. I imagine it gets pretty heavy. I think that's a pretty strong tree to hold out and live that distance with the weight that it has. They call it a live oak. Well, it's like they liken it to cast iron. It's very, very dense and heavy and very, very strong. Just like Arnold Schwarzenegger, the 7-time world bodybuilding champion, was called the Austrian oak because of his great strength. Of course, today he's the Terminator. Over to the right, well, we got a big pasture, and Sam's cutting the grass out this way, and it's a great place to have a picnic lunch. The trees are beautiful live oak trees. They call them live oak because they keep their leaves all year long. January, February, June, or July, no matter when you come, these trees will be filled with the moss. Now, the Spanish moss is a bromeliad. It's an air fern. It draws all its nutrients from the air and onto the tree no way whatsoever. It's closely related to the pineapple in the plant kingdom, but I wouldn't put it in my Sunday ham. It'll tickle all the way down. We'll move over a little bit to the left. We'll start to see some yellow-bellied slider turtles up here on the logs. They like to come when the sun's shining. The Spanish moss got its name, Spanish moss, given by the American Indian. He looked at the Spanish explorers, looked at their beards, and thought it looked similar. He called it Spanish moss, and the name stuck. The slider turtles close to shore. Now, sometimes you get quite a few of them, and they'll look like little stepping stones going across the pond, so be careful, don't think you can walk across them. Kind of look at this area up here, over here to the left. These look like we got a bunch of rocks here, but these are actually slider turtles. And if you think you can walk across the pond on these things, well, you'll find out you can't do it. You'll end up slipping in the pond. Yellow-bellied sliders, that's the actual name. They're yellow on the underside. They do slide off logs. They stack up like pancakes on a Minnesota breakfast table, right on top of each other. To the left, this is the Audubon Swamp, and part of it's dirt trail. Most of it is boardwalk. As you walk around, you'll be about 12 to 18 inches above the water level. There's Eric and Donna's up that way, and over to the left is a typical southern swamp. And I say typical because, well, just like Elvis was born in Tupelo, Mississippi, these are Tupelo elm trees out here. Over to the left, these are Tupelo elms. Cypress trees along the side. These pink flowers look like they've blown up. These are spider lilies, also called surprise lilies. This is where a famous movie was made years ago, filmed right here to the left. The name of the movie, of course, was called Swamp Thing. Old Swamp Thing was filmed right here. It does get a little spooky out here late at night with the alligators, the pond turtles, the bullfrogs, and old Swamp Thing's out there himself. Well, we'll head up the road here a little bit. You know, there were a lot of songs through the years, and some of the songs, well, you like to put things that you really like in the middle of a song, like y'all might remember that tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree years ago. That was because the oak tree was something special. It was something big. It was something going to be around for a while. I guess if you something big like that needs to be around for a while. And our oak trees, our oldest one on Plantation, is probably 500 or 600 years old. It's over 10 feet in diameter, over 30 feet in circumference, and over 300 years ago, they built fires in that tree, but didn't kill. It's still alive today, just on this road a little bit. It's near the bus parking lot. To the left is a Swamp Garden parking lot. And pull right in that little corral and put your vehicle and walk the Audubon. When you're finished, come over here to this cross-country road, take a right, and head back to Plantation. Of course, you can take a left out of the Audubon, that'll put you out on Highway 61. Well, we're headed back into the woods. Now, this is a bike trail, and rollerblades and roller skates, and if you like to do that, you can come all back this way. Now, while kids were learning about the Terminator, the always be back kind of guy, well, there was a country song years ago performed by Jimmy Dean called Big Bad John. Might be before some people's time, but it was basically about a big coal miner. One day at the bottom of the mine, everything caved in. He held up the beams and rafters at the bottom of the mine, and his fellow workers escaped to safety. He sacrificed his own life. No man had greater love than that. But right in the middle of the song, they likened Big Bad John to an oak tree. It was something like this. Oh, wind came one day at the bottom of the mine when the timbers cracked and the men started crying. And 20 men scrambled from a would-be grave, and now there was only one left down there to save. Big John. He grabbed his sack of timber and came out with a groan, and like a giant oak tree, stood there alone. Big John. They needed the wood to build the ships. The live oak was the wood they needed. They needed for the hull and the keel. Prehistoric Indian burial mound, the largest on the East Coast. Now, from Maine to Florida, that's a lot of territory. You know, I'll have to be completely honest with y'all. I really don't know much about that tribe up there. I've tried to speak with them on a number of occasions. I can't get a word out of them. But I didn't know they're getting ready for an Indian burial. And that's sacred ground. Indian burial mounds are the ones you don't go up and walk on. We can walk any place on property you want, but we have to keep off Indian burial mound. That's sacred ground. And we keep the grass down and the hedges back. In 1920, they told me that in this area there was a tribe, this was told by Smithsonian Institute, there was a tribe called the Kusaboo. And it was a nomadic tribe. That might be them, we're not sure. But you know, there were a lot of Indian tribes in the southeast. I'm thinking about this at the time of year, well, the football season's around, and I got to think about the ones in the south, the Florida Seminoles. And up in our mountain regions, we have the Cherokee Nation, the proud Cherokee people. The Creek Indians in the south, the Natchez, the Choctaw around here was the Kiowa, the Westo, the Ashaboot, Combie, Edisto, Tugadoo, Catawba tribes, PDP. Well, now, if you got sick, they didn't have an emergency room. They didn't have a medical university. They had a man that would use the plants and the trees for the healing of the Indian nations. His name was the Medicine Man. If you had a headache, you'd say, Medicine Man, I've got this terrible headache. He said, here, take 2 of these and call me first thing in the morning and chill down maybe. That must not be too far from the truth. You see, today's aspirin comes from the willow leaf or the willow bark, and that's how for years, for thousands of years, people used to take care of their headaches. We'll have to get our ducks in a row. Here's quite a few snowy egrets. The tall white bird is an American egret. There's a bird spread his wings out just like Batman. He's called the Anhingo, or the snake bird. Now the snake bird is, you see the long skinny neck. When he's in the water, only his neck and his head shows. It looks like a snake walking on its tail. When it's out of the water, it doesn't have the oil to dispel water. It's got to spread out its wings just like Batman. That's the Anhingo, the snake bird, also called the water turkey. Of course, we got people with upstairs apartments and downstairs, and these are wood ducks. Snowy white bird with a black beak, that's an easy one. That's the snowy egret. The orange beak is the American egret. This is Perryville. I call it Gator Lake because at any given time, these big alligators, this is their playground. It's close to the river. They come in and out of the river at their leisure. We could probably throw a fence around the alligators and say, well, you know, put them all in one area, but that's not the way we do it out here. They come and go them out. One of my favorite restaurants is up near Moe's Corner on Highway 52 called the Dock Restaurant. They've got that face up on the wall. Well, down here to the right, get a little closer to the wildlife here. There's an alligator just a few feet from shore. This fellow's about a 5-foot alligator. From his nose, his eyes about 5 feet long. He's a preschooler. We've got some turtles on the pond, and these seem to have a family dispute. They're not talking. They just looking the other way. A small alligator will use his tail to knock smaller animals into the water, and then to hold them down into the lift. Now the river, the Ashland River, is not quite high tide yet. It's coming up. When it gets high tide, the brown stains of that grass will be covered by the water. It will be solid green up from then on. People will look at the wood ducks and they say, Dick, why in the world would you have a wood duck? Why in the world did the alligator pond go out to the middle beat and not leave? The reason being because they can see their enemy coming from any direction. Aren't they glad that they can fly and the alligators can't? Alligators cross back and forth in and out of the property right here through these trees. Crawl back and forth in and out. And you see the heads, occasionally you see the little alligator heads be up in the duckweed out there. There's a bird here in the corner. Got kind of orange beak, a white racing stripe on his side. Now he's not full grown. He and his brother here are just kind of teenagers, so to speak. These are birds that got feet like a chicken, walk like a chicken, make noise like a chicken, but they want to be a duck so bad we let them be a duck. That's the Gallinula common horned. They used to grow rice over here as we make the corner to the left. There used to be an old rice field, 125 acres of rice. Used to be out that way. Today it's part of this edge, it's part of the canoe pond trails as you go down like the move to canoes. Snake bird on this end, long skinny neck. Gallinula's red in the water. Looking to the left, the little kids will say, look, Mama, look like corn dogs at the mall, but don't put mustard onto these. People used to make dried wheat arrangements. If they weren't familiar with it, they didn't spray them up with lacquer. If you don't, they'll fly all over your house being a real mess. Roll the cattails up in wax, and you had a great torch for the afternoon picnics or whatever. 125 acres of wildlife refuge and habitat, home to the osprey and the visiting bald eagles that come down here. Well, everybody wants waterfront property, and we'll stop over here real quickly to the left. Show you where Mama. Here's Nan Hinga, the snake bird out of the water to the right. See just ahead? At the beak? Just one under. Just throw off the bank. He'll come out there, do a little bit of fishing, come back up. But over to the left, we'll stop here real quickly. This is where Mama. We'll stop right here real quick.
Right there. Right there.
The driest line, not no mama alligators, though. Realize it's been dug up now. But when it was out there, you wouldn't have known it from any other place along here, except they had a little bit of a hump. So Mama will never know. Dog Cracker. I give him a hug every day. You better talk to me first. We've been good friends with too long now. Don't send me up like that. But anyway, Cracker's what his job is to get the geese safely from the petting zoo all the way up to the long bridge. One shot. I think you can take a picture of the bridge and cut it in half at the water's level. Nature's mirror images everything above the water line. Well, I'm checking my watch. It's about 7 minutes for the next house tour. Anybody got a 3 o'clock house tour? We'll let you off right here. Thank you very much for